Should people get married to their best friends? What do you think? I think there are a lot of women out there who have friend-zoned a perfectly marriageable man because he has failed to tick box F or box J. I think people should marry financially secure, mentally stable, emotionally mature people with shared values, and if there are such people in one's friend group, then sure, marriage would probably not be a bad idea. I think dating standards today are too high and too complex, and the focus should be more on whether or not you respect and trust someone rather than other more esoteric components of attraction, romance, lifestyle aspirations, etc. Yes, if possible, but as always you need to consider the practical and/or life goals as well. Do you want kids? Do you have financial goals that align? Would you rather live in the same kinds of places? Moral values? Etc. etc. No matter how close you are otherwise, any of these can still easily be a deal breaker, only it will happen 10 years from now in far worse circumstances. X200B. Lack of consideration for simple practical concerns is a huge gap in how most people in the West view relationships, due to the overvaluation of extreme romantic concepts. I'm currently in a relationship with my best friend, and it'll soon be 3 years since we got together. My parents only met because my mom was co-workers with my dad's sister and they barely even knew each other. They fight constantly, and I've never even seen them display affection towards each other either. Meanwhile, my best friend partner and I have always resolved disagreements through talking things out and listening to each other. We compromise, listen, care about each other's feelings because we've cared since the very start. It's a must-emo. You have to marry someone you like as a person first. I see so many people in awful relationships because they love each other but don't seem to like each other very much. My husband is my best friend, we play games together, go to concerts together, go to movies and coffee dates, we talk for hours about silly things and whatever we are interested in at that moment. We've been together 10 years and have never had a serious fight. A strong foundation of marriage is built off a strong foundation of friendship. Not always. My best friend is amazing. Love her with absolutely all of my heart. She's intelligent, kind, beautiful, and funny as hell. But there is zero romantic interest and our lifestyles are completely incompatible. She wants kids, I don't. She wants to live in the town we grew up in, I move every 4 or 5 years for work. She's a neat freak, I have a housekeeper to keep me from living like a bachelor. She's Christian, I'm an atheist. But most significantly of all, she orders her pizzas with pineapple, and I'm not a monster. Dating your best friends is risky because you chance losing that best friend if nothing works out. The stories are out there that some of these relationships are the exception to the contrary, but that doesn't mean that there aren't relationships where it has gone well. The path to getting married starts with being friends to best friends to girl boyfriend to couple to engaged and then to marry, of course. But if you've been primarily friends and act like friends and will always act like friends? Not a good idea. Marriage as an institution should be exploited as much as possible for tax benefits. However, if you're asking whether you think best friends are compatible romantically, I think it depends on the person and what they want from the romantic relationship. Sometimes expectations in platonic relationships are very different from romantic ones, and living with any friend is much different from visiting them from time to time. Lots of factors here to consider. Why not? If you can live together successfully, if you can be there for each other in every way needed, don't see why they shouldn't be together, live together, even married. One of my favorite storylines in a show I like is two best friends who lived together wanted to have a baby together. It would have worked if the show allowed it. Sex stuff can always be figured out if that isn't on the table for whatever reason. Dude, marrying your best friend is like unlocking the ultimate life combo. Think about it, you're not just stuck with someone, you're chilling with your ride or die homie. You already know each other's weird quirks, secret snacks, and binge-watching preferences. It's like skipping the awkward getting to know you phase and jumping straight to the good stuff. Best friends make the best life partners, hands down. Yes, absolutely 100. My truly vile boss Phil, once told me that no way is his wife his best friend. For the record, my wife's parents are miserable together and have never gone on vacation together, just the two of them, in the entire 8 years we've been together. That was all the proof I needed to know, that yes, your significant other should also be your best friend because you are stuck with them for life. I met this woman many years ago, and whenever we were chatting she always had a boyfriend. We became best friends over time and then her relationship ended a while back. At first we were both like, should we do this? But now we're both like, this is it, this is how it should have been from the get-go, and it feels wonderful. If life gives you lemons, make the damn lemonade is all I'm saying. That depends on how we're defining this. My late wife was my best friend. I also have a best platonic friend who is a woman. Would I marry my platonic friend? Absolutely not. She's gay and I'm a man. I'm not sexually attracted to her, and she isn't attracted to me. So if we're talking about your best platonic friend, unless there's attraction and romantic interest, I'd say no. Yes. My wife is my best friend and I can't think of being with anyone else like this. We were best friends for a decade before any real romantic interest was formed, as we unwittingly ruined each other's relationships since people can't stand their partner being best friends with someone of the opposite sex. What we have, I wish everyone else could have as well. I love my wife and would spend time with her over pretty much anyone if I had to choose. However, this idea that we have to be friends is just romantic nonsense. They are separate categories. I hate to rank, but in the hierarchy of socials, spouse would be one and best friend two. There are things that I would do talk about with each and they don't need to cross. We became best friends in college, but never dated. I watched her get married to another guy. Realized she was the one I was supposed to be with. Broke my heart. I moved far away. Left her alone. They got divorced a few years later. We got back in touch. Started dating, got married. We have a little boy now and my wife and I are still best friends. Best friends are best friends. They are relationships that are created because you both feel happy and comfort each other. You enjoy spending time together. You can share your emotions with them and they would understand. I cannot see a disadvantage of marrying your best friend. Marriage should be based on relationship rather than looks, feels. It's all semantics because your spouse will become your best friend over time regardless because of the time you will spend together. For a lot of people when they say best friend, they mean aside from the spouse. I have a best friend and a wife, but my wife is my best friend. He's the best friend outside of my relationship. I mean, she is one of my best friends, but I wouldn't date her if you paid me. For one, she has a boyfriend and whenever we go out that's me and some friends without her boyfriend, all she talks about are other guys she finds hot. I'm sorry, but that just is code red written all over. She's cool otherwise. If the person you're marrying is not also your best friend, you shouldn't be marrying them. But I think the gist of your question is whether you should marry someone who is only your best friend, and not someone you also actually find physically attractive. In that case, no. My best friend and I moved in together at 18, entirely platonic for a couple of years, then something changed. We've been married 20 years and have 3 kids. In truth, I'd say to this day we're more best friends who have a happy life together than married couple. Yes, I met the love of my life at college. I miss every day waking up next to her, walking to classes, having classes, lunch and then walking back home with her. Even though I spend every moment with her, I miss the time I literally spent every moment with her. Yes. That's the secret to dating. Why do you think apps barely work? Going into a relationship and then learning who the person is why I think everyone is burnt out on dating. If you're friends first, then you skip finding out if you're compatible, you know? Yes. If your partner is not your best friend, then why are you getting married at all? If you mean marrying someone who is just your best friend, then I'd at least wait until having lived together for 2 years first to see if you are a match in a home setting. I met my best friend at the age of 15. We did everything together. 25 years later she is still my best friend and my love for her has never waned. She is the person that I wish I could be. So, yes. Marry your best friend if the opportunity presents itself. Absolutely, my parents are best friends and their story is the closest thing to a real-life fairy tale in my opinion. I've never met 2 people that love each as much as they do and they are still like 2 gross teenagers in love even after over 30 years. Smiley face. Emo, it's better to marry a stranger, and then become best friends with your lover and spouse. That's what holds a relationship together for a long time. I'm not sure how well it works well the other way around. But it might work, that's your decision. Both my best female friends are lesbian and sometimes it does make me want to fucking end myself cause they're the best people I know and, save for their sexualities, I always felt like they're the kind of girl I'd want to be my girlfriend wife. I think you shouldn't get married if you aren't each other's best friends beside whatever other feelings exist between you. Moreover, I think the idea that romance and friendship are mutually exclusive is fucking us all over big time. It's a case-by-case thing. Personally, if I did get married to someone, it would be to someone I can get along with as either a lover or a friend. I feel like a lot of marriages fall apart because they have no common interests. Marriage to a best friend can be rewarding as it often involves a strong foundation of trust and understanding. However, individual preferences and dynamics vary, So it depends on the unique qualities of the relationship. Absolutely tying the knot with your best friend feels like winning the relationship jackpot. Imagine spending a lifetime with someone you can binge watch shows, share pizza nights, and confide in for everything. If you two were in love, then yes. If not, no. I think your life partner should be your best friend. Whether you start as best friends and date, or you date first and become best friends, you should be best friends. At their golden wedding celebration, my grandfather described my grandmother thusly: "She's my mate, she's my best mate." They were together from the age of 16, right up until his death at the age of 72. Totally, marrying your best friend is like hitting the relationship jackpot. I mean, who wouldn't want to spend forever with someone they can binge watch shows, eat pizza, and spill all the tea with? It depends on the person. If your best friend is kind, loyal, caring, then you should. Marrying best friend is good because both of them know each other very well, can be supportive in every ways. I can't offer any advice here since I'm not married yet, as my current partner is also my best friend. But good lord, these replies make me smile with the dedication people have. I envy it. A best friend holds you responsible in all aspects of your life. A best friend will never ask you to compromise your core beliefs. Best friends make the best lovers and spouses. I was with my best friend partner for like 12 years and he cheated, woman shrugging, multiple times, even after I had him out so we could at least stay friends. Some people just scoff.